painting a tropical frog. So we're going to cover the back of our picture with graphite, and this is a great way to create a transfer image. You just trace if you want to, this is optional. So we're going to go dark to light, apart from the black really, that's probably the last thing you should put in, but I have put in one of the eyes now. Mainly because the black can sometimes infiltrate some of the other colours. Sorry, I'm just with my little dog here, which you might be able to hear in the background. So dark to light, we're going to start off with the navy blues and the dark blues. I genuinely feel like today it's a bit like painting by numbers, so we can plot in the colours and then just sort of blend them really. Now, we're not needing to go really, really thin with the layers because we're not putting too many colours on top of each other. So the colours in this case are kind of sitting on their own. So you can go a little bit thicker than normal. You can still blend them, of course, but the colours kind of stand out on their own. If you look at the frog picture, the green is kind of one colour. Yes, there's some highlights on top, but the colours seem to stay as they are and they seem to speak on their own. Right, so as I'm mixing my colour, I can do a bit of colour matching. So I can literally put the paintbrush on top of the picture just to see how close I've got to that particular colour. And I know I said no blending is necessary, but I've got a softer brush here and I am just blending some of that orange because I have applied it quite thick and I want it nice and soft. So the blending is optional. I hope I've made that clear. We're not blending because we're adding two colours together. I'm just blending just to soften the layers. And then again, we're just adding some green now. Mix it on your colour palette first, and then when you're happy, just apply. There's not a real great deal of differentiation in the green. It's kind of a lime green and it's sort of all over. So again, it really is a bit like paint by numbers. You're blocking in those colours, blending and softening the application of paint, but we're not blending lots of colours together today. Your picture might be different, but I'm just adding in a little bit of pink here. It breaks down that white area, the underbody of the frog, but it also creates a shadow. So you can use blue here or pink, almost to create an unusual tone. Obviously add in the highlights at your discretion here, and then I'm just working really loosely into the background and really freely. So I'm adding in the stem in which that little frog's attached to, hanging on to, and then later on you'll see me apply the background. So nice and loose, just have a bit of fun with it. So here we go, adding in the background. At first I just sort of wanted to suggest some sort of jungle leafy background, and then I started to look at my colour wheel, and so instead of lots of green, because the frog is mainly green, I thought, well actually what's opposite to green, and that's red. And then I thought, well, let's go for a sort of pinky tone, and that's going to make that sort of the green stand out and that stalk stand out. And then I've just used the colour wheel just to add in other colours. So if I wanted green to stand out, I'd use red. If I wanted the orange to stand out, I would use the blue. And if I wanted the yellows to stand out, I'd use purple. I know some of you like to leave the background behind, but if that's not quite your thing, then just transfer to or switch to a softer brush and then blend it all together. And of course, you can always use your finger to smudge it.